Yo, what's going up, everybody? So we have some more drama to talk about that's coming with the game, due to mostly, I think, from the P5X alert accounts. Nothing to do with them. They didn't do anything wrong. They just announced that JP in English, so with the banners being extended for the core banner and then the switch up for the summer banners, a lot of people are thinking we are skipping patches. Or I shouldn't say a lot, but I've seen a lot of talks, especially due to the post by Najox, where he says that during 2.1 we're getting summer closer and summer moko, and then Mesa in 2.2. Which, going back here, this is the original tweet. So that means 2.1 on this is Thursday of this will be a Thursday for 2.1. So that means we're gonna have summer closer and summer moko drop here, and then we're gonna have Mesa drop in 2.2. I think he made a mistake, personally speaking, the document made a mistake, which I'll be talking in a couple seconds about. But the reason I'm talking about this is because I saw this on when I was scrolling while using the toilet today, and I was like, what are people talking about? But for the most part, the whole negativity comes around people thinking, partially due to the fact that, it kind of makes sense they could merge those two banners together. Hey, post settings right here. I also forgot to mention the fact that the summer events were put into 2. So that means they would have also had to cram in both summer events into one patch, which I don't think they're going to do. I think what they would do is what we currently have in the current patch or last patch of the game, NTW, where we had summer events. Well, both of them were running at the same time, but one led into the other. Because having to do all of that summer event all in like 2 to 3 weeks would have been insane. And I would have wanted to. No, I would have noped out of it so quickly. Or else they have to have a summer event running alongside the new story patch with Mesa. Or move the story patch onto like Futaba's, which is then going on to the Crossroad of Fates. Doesn't make sense. Okay. Post settings have out, but that would be very bad for them to do in the first place, especially with, as this person pointed out, they've already merged Marion's patch with Yui's patch. But the difference between that and them doing 2 limited banners, Marion is a standard unit, and it kind of made sense that they could combine it with Yui's patch, which, if we remember, we go back to 1.0. So Yui was 1.1, Marion was 1.2. So in global, they decided to match these 2 banners together. And I would say that anytime they would match any banners, it makes sense if they want to do a standard unit with a limited unit. Because let's be honest, this entire patch right here, the only thing they had with it was the Metro. It's like, I said this on stream today, it made sense for them to merge Phoebe with another patch, because let's be honest, what was there to do during Phoebe's patch? There wasn't anything to do. Another unit going forward, I could see them maybe doing. I guess Phoebe could be, because she's a limited Navi. I mean, the first 5-star Navi, I should say. They could leave her by herself. It made sense. But Cherish, I think a lot of people are going to skip Cherish. And like, you could see it. Oh, it's a safe patch. I'm like, that's cool. But there's not much going on besides, I think the 110 banner should be coming with Cherish, as well as the card game that a lot of people have been talking about. I can't remember what it's called, but the card game. That's it. That's the entire patch. And I'm going to be honest, they can compensate us with combining this patch with another patch. Like, combining these 2 patches would be sick. And they just give us a 10 weapon pull and a 10 character pull. That, fine by me. Because it's not like there's any events going on. Like, these patches are typically 6,000 gem patches, where most of the time all the gems are from the non-limited. So as long as they give us like 3k worth of gems in compensation, they can quite reasonably skip these, and we're not missing out on anything. Like, maybe like a couple pulls, but like, I would take that over 2 weeks of dead content, because look at what's happening right now in the game. Like, I don't see anything going on. I see so many people who are like, there's nothing to do right now. I know some people there's a lot to do, but like, there's really nothing to do. But with Najox going on about saying summer close and summer moko, I don't know entirely I could agree with that. And he's going off of, because of, if I read down here, that summer closer was 2.1.1, and summer moko was 2.1.2, which, going back to my banner right here, 2.1.1 and 2.1.2, and then we had Mesa being 2.2. That's what he's gone off of. I think Najox just made a mistake. No hate to the guy. I think he just made a mistake in thinking that we follow the Chinese and TW kind of way of how they do things. But if we go back and look at 1.0, 1.x, let's look at Queen and Yusuke. This was 1.3.1 and Queen was 1.3.3. But in global, we had Yusuke 1.2 and Queen being 1.3. We typically haven't done these 0.1s, 0.2s, or 0.3s. We haven't done any of these 0.x's. It's always it's always a 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, etc., etc. So I think realistically what's going to happen is that we're on 2.0. This will be 2.1. This will be 2.2. I imagine we'll probably skip this. This will be 2.3. It also makes sense because Mesa banner or Mesa patch was also the story patch. And if we go to global, hey, more post editing Zev here. I forgot to shout out my goat Shauna for saying this doesn't line up with the game, though does it? The story event with the daily rewards and all, it says ends in 40 days. And if 2.2 is the story update, that would imply that the summer patches takes up the entirety of the next 40 days worth of patches. She mentioned this also in my stream today, and that's kind of what got my brain whirling about doing this video. So huge shout out to you, Shauna. Appreciate you. Stay golden. I don't know where this came from, but whatever. I think this is my this is my fresh account. This is my new account I made a couple days ago. But if we go to events and we look at the new chapter event, we can see that this goes on for 39 more days. And what is in 39 more days? Well, if we go to a calendar real quick, we can see that it actually perfectly matches up with the what should be the 2.2 release. Now, are we here? 42? All right, yeah. Okay, so we add 42 days, basically. And what we'll see is we add, that's 6 weeks, right? 6 weeks, yeah. So 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. October 23rd, which goes right with when I think Mesa should be. Because this will be a 17-day banner. This will be a 14-day banner. So we'll have this go until, so starting on the 22nd, right here, September. This will go all the way until the 9th, which will be Summer Tomoko. So Summer Closer, Summer Tomoko, and then Summer, so not Summer Mesa, but Mesa will be the 23rd with our new story. We will now be able to finish our 3.0 story. Oh, sorry, our Palace 3 story of Katayama before we have another no story until 3.0 comes out with 5-star mods. But I think at the end of the day, I think there's just some mistakes. But also, and I think that this would be a very bad side to the look to the game. Like, it's one thing if they decide to do it with a like kind of thing, something like this, because this is essentially we got in 1.1. We had a Yui and a Marion. That's completely different, because this Marion is a standard unit. We can get her at any time. We can't always go back and get S Moko. Like, S Moko got a rerun. That's cool. But what stops them from combining Kasumi with Wenvas in the future? What stops them, a big thing, is Chinese New Year Ren and Matoi. What stops them from doing that? Because Chinese New Year Ren, her best support is Matoi. And I don't want to ever think about a world in this game of them doing it, because like I think it just starts a bad precedent of them doing that. And I think with the fact that how much backlash they got doing a combined Marion and Yui, and the fact that they left Phoebe by herself, I think they're not really looking at running a dual banner of first-time releases. I think at most of what they're going to do is something what we got right now is where we got a Joker rerun. So I could see us having a Marion rerun during Mesa, maybe. That would be cool. But also another thing they could do is do a Marion rerun with Summer Closer, because who's Summer Closer's best support? Well, Marion. And Marion is already it's already standard banner coming back. But hopefully this kind of clarifies some things and hopefully gives us an idea of what's going on. This is stuff I don't want to see happening, and I really hope that what Najox just didn't think too clear about it, and he was just too focused on the Chinese side of things and not think about what the global side is doing and the Japanese. But with that, I want to end the video there. I hope you guys have a good day, good night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye for now.